So welcome back to my channel. I'm Matthew LV. Today we're going to speak about creating that shopping list for you to find that dream partner. Let's get into it. So welcome back. So what I wanted to talk about was obviously the shopping list of you achieving who the person that you're looking to date. And I don't mean this is about a pickup line or a chat up. This is about the situation where you're going to find a person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or you want a long-term relationship with. Now I'm going to give you 6 key points, which is going to overall kind of break the script about how you can manifest that person into your life. Now you have to remember these 6 key points are done through the law of attraction. Remember that's a law of attraction. It's about manifestation and being sure and understanding how what's going on here and what's going on in here, then what's going on down there. They're the key points we need to look at. So with the shopping list of love, which I'm going to title this may be over 2-parter, maybe 3, depends on what they want me to kind of give to you guys, so you can find that dream person who is either your really strong soulmate or your really strong twin flame. So let's start breaking down. Let's just jump right into this, and let's start with the first one. So the first one is core qualities, emotional and spirituality. Now these are the key things we need to look at. You need to look at the physical and the emotional intimacy that you're both going to be facing and looking together. They're the key things you write on your bucket list that you're looking for. Now let me just start with something before I proceed on. What this is the added extra after you've written out, okay, the looks, the physical looks, the how they look and how they dress and how they come across to you. So it could be look, they could have dark hair, dark eyes, dark complexion, light complexion, big, small, height, whatever. That's the main criteria. That's what I call the presence, or you want to call it the appearance. Right, that comes right at the top of your shopping list of love. This is the emotional connection I'm talking about. Let me make that quite clear. This is why these 6 key points are going to captivate all the information that you first started with. So as I go on, you've already written out about the person that you want, and this is the emotional inside work that you should be laying out to help you attract that right person. One of the first key points you should be looking at is they should make you feel loved and appreciated. Now the important thing about obviously feeling loved and appreciated is that when you're with them, when things are going wrong in your life, you can go and be with them to be like a reset. Nothing worse if that person has all the criteria, all the things that you're looking for, the looks, the appearance and everything, but you don't feel safe, you don't feel loved, you don't feel supported within that relationship. That's a key thing. The other point you must have is that they need to share your goals and your dreams. Now, I'm not saying they need to be in the same industry work-wise as you, or that they have to be striving to have the job that you want to do, but you gotta be on the same even keel. As for example, if you're both entrepreneurs, then both of you should be both entrepreneurs. You know, again, doesn't have to be in the same industry. Again, if you both want to be successful, you know, you both want to travel. These are key goals and ambitions that you want to achieve with both of you driving if you want to build that person. Now, again, these criteria are the things that you want that is going to hit that marker to make your relationship special, and also that will show you that this is a twin flame. Now, one of the key things I feel, and when I was working with Spirit to create this, is they should make you feel safe and safe to love them. Have great communication, openness, and have strong evaluation to help you to find out not just about finding out who they are, but finding out who you are. There should be the person that opens that. There should be the person, let me rephrase that. There should be the person that would help you open up those fearful parts of you that you're concerned about doing or growing into. They're there to support you. They're there to bring you to the next level. And you're there to do the same with them. So what I want to point out is that they should be respectful, loyal, and respect the way that you are living because they love you. Now, let me give you an example. I had a friend of mine, when he met this girl was earning money, right? She was doing quite well in her life. He was earning, but what he couldn't understand was that this girl was a bit of a party girl. Yeah, she liked to go out with her friends, clubbing and so on. He was more of a, I won't say, I hate using the word geek, but he was more of a bookworm. He liked to study. This is how we came into contact with each other. We were studying, doing some work together, working on certain projects. So anyway, my point is this. He met this girl and he tried to change her. He tried to get this girl to slow down, to not go out as much, and almost kind of like pin her down. And I remember him saying to me one time when we were studying, he said, she's out again. She's always out. And I'm like, well, how often is she out? And he was really getting annoyed about it. And then I said, can I ask you a question? And he said, yeah. Do you love her? He said, yeah. And I goes, but I just don't like that aspect of her. Well, how can you love somebody if you don't love every aspect of them? You know, you can't, if you're eating chocolate, you would like chocolate. Yeah, you can say you don't like dark chocolate, you don't like white chocolate, you like milk chocolate. But if you're in love with milk chocolate, you're in love with milk chocolate, no matter what brand it is. I know I'm comparing chocolate to a relationship, but that's what I was trying to explain to him. Is like, you have to love her warts and all, because they're the aspects of her that makes her appreciate you. And I know for one, because she told me that he isn't like the friends she walks with. She knows when she does all her clubbing, her partying or whatever, she wasn't that bad in my eyes. She would go out every Friday night, maybe a Saturday as well, off and on. But he would go with her on a Friday, but would go on a Saturday. And she was very loyal and supportive to him. But she always said that during the week, I love for the fact is that he keeps me grounded. He helps me to achieve an aspect of me that no one else has done before. She always used to date DJs. She always used to date bouncers. She always used to date, events organizers, all those people in that arena, because that's where she's from. But when she met my friend, who was a project manager and was more focused upon developing his own business and focused upon becoming something, she eventually was going to give up that lifestyle. But I said this to her: don't give up your lifestyle because he doesn't like it. You can reduce it if you want to reduce it. He has to learn to love you for who you are, because that's how you showed up. We're going to talk about showing up later on, but this is how you showed up. He knew exactly what you were. He should love every aspect of you. You know, the stories when you're out partying with your friends or you're socializing with your friends. In fact, I said to her, in order to help change him, why don't you look at your career and use your love of being out as your career? Going to events. Flip this script. So that way he can't complain that you're always out at parties, but this is your work. So anyway, she did. He was okay about it. In fact, he started going along and supporting at some of her events. He started help promoting and also doing a project managing of her events. And they're very successful today. They live in America now. Well, I don't know if it's too good now in America, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, let's start moving on. So the second point, which is, I'm going to roll into the other point as well. Another point is you both must be focused upon personal growth and also developing of one's self. Yeah, it's all about growth. You must look at the person you want to be with. If you're one to grow, yeah, and want to be successful, you need to start looking at the people that is going to mirror you. Yeah, are going to mirror you. They need to be in, I won't say, for example, you're always going to the gym, you should find a gym person, but it helps. It helps if that person has a similar appreciation of the body, of the mind. If it helps you to be a bit more grounded within your own self, than opposed to you just going and being different than they are. So say, for example, you like to go to the gym and this person just likes to lay in. There's going to be a conflict there, because you're going to constantly gain, unless you respect them for what they are. It goes back to, obviously, how they show up. You need to turn around and respect that person, and you need to try and evaluate if you want someone who is a gym bod, someone is who likes to just take it easy and have lazy Sundays in, because I know some people don't like lazy Sundays in. So if you do, that's good, but if you don't, then you need to think about if that's the type of person you want. Other point I want to talk about is they should be looking at balancing themselves and developing their personal and spiritual growth. Now, again, if you're that type of person, and again, if you're looking at this video and you know it's about law of attraction, this is what I'm about. It's about personal and spiritual and emotional growth. So if you're not into that and it's not your thing, then fine. And you can take whatever else from it as you may. But predominantly, we're about spiritual and personal growth. And if you find someone that you can put them up on that list, and if they come to the conversation, for example, that they are into that, that's going to help you develop yourself, because they want to be able to grow as well. And they want you to be their partner to help them grow. So put it on your shopping list is important, because that's kind of the key parts of you about your development and your growth. So the other point I want to speak about is spending time together and helping each other out. Right? Remember, when I say these are lists. These are words or things you can put on your list. So spending time with each other is self-explanatory. It is what it is, right? But the amount of people that don't spend time together, that see each other just on a weekend, see each other once a week or twice a week, that's different. If your partner lives away from you, that's different. If your partner lives 10, 20 minutes or an hour away from you, why are you only seeing them a few times a week, or once a week or whatever? All right, granted, you may have busy lifestyle, but how can you grow and develop yourself if you're just, seeing them now and then? Another thing is, as I said earlier, is about you both wanting to help other people or helping each other. Now, if you're meeting someone who isn't into helping others, there's a word I can't place what it is. But if you're not into someone who won't help other people and they just are almost like narcissists and they just focus upon self, maybe you need to think about what it is that you really want. I remember one time, I worked with this lady and she had a bit of issues about who she was dating. And she said to me she's always dating the wrong type of person. So I said, what do you mean by dating the wrong type of person? Because you attract what you attract. You attract who you are. And she said, so I said to her, okay, tell me about the person that you want. Tell me about the person that you normally attract. She said, I normally attract, she's this beautiful woman. She always attracts these gym bods. They're always pretty or handsome. They always spend more time in the mirror than she does. She said one guy had so much hair stuff and face creams and so on, it trumped her. He had more clothes than she did, and she said she got sick and tired of dating someone like that. So I said, all right then, fine. So now tell me about somebody or give me an image of who you would like to date. She said, I like the guy to be toned, good looking, going out, like to go to nice restaurants, always taking care of themselves. So I was just giving her, just looking at her, and she was like, what are you looking at me that for? I goes, you just described the first person. And she said, what do you mean? You've just put this person out. The ones you said you're dating now, who you attract, you're clearly probably living with these people, and they are, or you're spending time with them at their home, so you're seeing the preparation. But what you want is a final effect. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for the fact is that she was like, wow, I get you. She goes, no, really, what I want is someone loving, caring. I don't want to look like. I goes, no, until you realize what you're actually manifesting. I said to her, listen, there's nothing wrong with what you want, right? Don't think because what I think, or what anybody else thinks, your friends think, or your mum or dad or whatever. It's important what you feel, what you want. And if it is this person, but you just want them to be a bit more loyal, loving, caring, compassionate and all that lot, then fine, put it on your list. But you need to be more open with yourself. Because the more you're not consistent and focus upon what it is that you want, you're always going to attract that type of person. And I'm mindful about seeing these red flags, as I've seen in my past. So I was trying to point out to her, don't be so ashamed if this is who you want or who you love. Because you're a beautiful woman. So you're going to attract those types of people. And you're going to attract the people who are not, in your eyes, attractive. Everyone in God's kingdom is beautiful. But eventually she saw what I meant, and she started manifesting things on her level that she felt was alignment with her. You know, she ended up dating a computer programmer, you know, who was total opposite of who she was. He was a good looking guy, but he was more focused upon hair and only trained hair to keep himself healthy than opposed to it being his main job. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is physical and personal traits. Intention. This is the kicker. This is the important one. This is a goal you score from the halfway line into the goal past that world-renowned goalkeeper, or kicking it from the corner on a football field and curving the ball into the back of the net. So anyone who likes football, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, there you go. So moving on, let me move on. So these are about physical and personal traits, yeah, or how they, and you put your intention out for these people, what you want. This is about looking up at when you've written down what the type of person you want, and you're looking at the intention, backing that up in the middle of all what I've been talking about and what I'm going on to talk about. These are specifically written down for you, or being created by them upstairs, by my brothers upstairs and God himself, in order for you to find that key to opening or unlocking your personal power to manifest that right person. The person should have a warm heart and a loving energy. There's nothing worse with going with somebody who is so cold, has no emotion. And when I say love and energy, they can be really funny. They can be really affectionate. They can be really physically affectionate. You know, always holding your hand, always touching your knee. You know, they could always be dropping jokes. Now, I don't mean dropping jokes is by them insulting you, but putting that on your list when you're creating that bit. It's important that they embody that kind of vibe, you know, to help you move forward. The other thing I want to talk about is them having deep eyes and a deep smile. Yeah, they're really key things, because the deep smile I should talk about first of all is that smile you're going to see across the room. That's your attraction. And I don't mean a nice set of teeth, but you know, that smile that is being welcoming, warming, because when you see them in the morning, that's the first thing you want to see when you wake up, is them smiling. Second point is the eyes. The eyes are the keys to the soul. Yeah, you can see exactly what they're thinking. This is why when I do readings or I do any coaching, I don't try not to, when I'm evaluating and I'm listening to people, I look at them, but when I'm doing readings, I don't have any physical look in their eyes or their face, because I'm looking away, because I want to pick up on their vibration, not on their presentation of self. The only time I look into somebody's eyes when I'm kind of working is when I'm delivering my final presentation to the person, especially when I'm doing counts in a coaching. I always give the eyes contact, and just to see how they react to certain evaluations that Spirit may show me while I'm working with them. So when you're looking at that, you put that line down, the eyes, and you gotta have warm eyes and a warm smile. Remember, picture in your mind's eye what they're gonna look like. Look at some stars on a golden screen, or a silver screen, whatever you want to call it, in order to help you. So the other point is they should take time to look after their health. Now, this is also a cliche, not cliche. It's also, I think, it's an important one for anybody about looking after their health. And this is like that they eat well, they shower and they smell well, and they brush their teeth and all the rest of it. Now, it doesn't necessarily talk about food. I'm not saying go out and find a vegetarian or a vegan. But what I'm saying is that their health is important. If they're not presenting themselves properly, and their teeth are not brushed, and they are very much distant from you, and they kind of smell, it's a problem, and that can cause all sorts of problems internally and externally. And I had a friend years ago, and I remember him saying to me, "Oh, well, I don't brush my teeth until I'm dating somebody." But I said, "How can you date somebody and get to know them and then brush your teeth if your teeth are manky?" And he goes, "He doesn't want to waste the toothpaste." Anyway, go figure. So, I don't know if he's with anybody, but that was his thing. Me personally, I love a woman or a person to be smelling nice. Yeah, fresh. I always have you can get these small little scent bottles that you can pump from a normal spray can that you get for your cologne, your dupe, or whatever, your CK1. I always have one of those with me. So when I'm about to meet them, just have a bit of a spray, and also make sure that my beard is looking good. And I'm growing it out now, but it's like I always make it look trim when I'm going to meet somebody. The hair's shaving nice, the clothes fit right. There's nothing worse than if you meet somebody and from a health point of view that they are feeling really suffering from issues because they're not eating right, or they feel they should eat what they feel you want them to eat. Do you know what I'm saying? So they should be comfortable with what they're eating. They can still have so-called meat, but healthy meat, like white meat or whatever. It's whatever they're comfortable with, but they have to make sure that they are looking after themselves. So my next point is the relationship dynamic. You need to put that as a title, relationship dynamic. This is the key parts. What I'm going to talk about is this is the key parts of how you want them to show up in your relationship. Let me rephrase that. This is how you want them to show up and how your relationship should be, how you want it to be. This is where you start. What I'm going to talk about here, these are some key points which will help nudge you to think about what you want to put on your shopping list in order to see how your relationship, through what the Spirit is showing me, to help you achieve that twin flame or that near supreme strong soulmate. So the first one I want to talk about is being playful and laugh together. Nothing worse than going out and the person's a miserable, I remember my mum said to me one time, Mother Lubienne said to me, "Boy, I chose your dad because he made me laugh." Plus obviously she loved him and the rest of it, but that's what kind of tipped her towards him after probably having many suitors who presented themselves to her. But she loved my father because she felt safe, because he made her feel safe. And he also was a funny man. And I remember growing up having amazing laughs, especially around Christmas, holidays. Them two were pure jokers. And I build or manufacture in some way having an essence of that in my relationship. And if someone don't show up similar and are playful and will make me laugh and we don't have a banter together, then we're not going to work. It just isn't going to happen. So someone that makes you laugh and can be quite playful. Other point is have mutual respect and trust. Like respect, that they should respect you. If you're going to have your girlfriends, you're going to have your guy friends, that you're not going to go and cheat. And you should trust her as well. You know, and trust. You should have trust in yourself not to do anything. Because if you truly love them, you wouldn't do anything. And I remember there was a movie, I don't know if you've seen it, with Eddie Murphy and the gorgeous Halle Berry. Yeah. And in it, Eddie Murphy was a player. He's a known player. He doesn't hide that he's a player. He just knows. He's known in the office for being a player. But he falls in love with Halle Berry. Halle Berry is a bit more quieter. They ain't her name in the film, but that's her real name. And anyway, so in the movie, the girl he wanted to get with, he was originally with, and wanted to achieve with, I can't remember her name. She's one that ended up marrying Tyson. Anyway, he ended up with her, and then they broke up and he ended up with Halle Berry. Then he went out again with this girl and slept with her. And then they were living together at this time, and he sneaked into the bed. She knew where he was and was up to. She left him, and he goes, "But I love you." And she's made Eddie Murphy, who a better man because of him, because of her. And she said, "Well, your love should have got your ass home last night."
Angela, I saw the woman, and a bunch of stuff that was in me I didn't even know was still there came out. Things happen, and there's certain things you just have no control over, right?
Really? Like what?
Like love.
Love. You know, what do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love? You know, I'm sick and tired of men using love like it's some kind of disease you just catch. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
Always remember that. So if someone's cheating, then why would they? If you're triggering them sexually on every level, they shouldn't be out getting that, no matter what this person looks like, you know. And I know when I'm with somebody and I love somebody, I don't cheat unless I'd rather leave the relationship than opposed to staying with the person. So the next point I'm going to talk about is both of you working as a team and having strong love connection through communication. Now, communication, let me start with working as a team. Then you work as a team, you're both, again, you're together, you have a goal to achieve. You want to be in a certain from here to here, to opposed to here to here. So working as a team is going through, when that person's going through a bad time, that your partner may lose their job, your partner may even feel that they love or want somebody else sexually. But the communication, communication is the key for you both to thrive and survive. If you don't communicate, and what is in the house, if there's two of you in the house, what happens in the house stays in the house, about communication and love. Obviously, unless that you're under threat. But communication, you can hear what other people are saying, but bring it back to the table and use to communicate and work together, because this is your relationship. A twin flame don't have a third flame. So if you want a third flame, then go and find your other flame elsewhere. But if you want a twin flame, that's who you communicate with. So the other point I want to speak about is growing together spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Yeah, I think they're the points I wanted to talk about. So again, sometimes in this day and age, we do go through hard times, and we need each other to be there for each other, right? Can that make sense? So when you're working together and you're feeling that you're struggling, you don't look elsewhere for support. The one at home or the one you're dating is the one that you should be with, talking to. Now, they're not your therapist, right? So don't treat them like your therapist. They're there to your best friend, your lover, your chair host, your coach, your mentor. They're everything to you. Yeah, that's how a good relationship builds. I remember talking to this old lady, she must be in her 80s. She says that her granddaughter will these days will leave somebody if they leave the cap off the top of a toothpaste. And I thought it was hilarious. But it's true. We don't have the sustainable power anymore, you know. So I think with relationships these days and having that emotional connection, emotional, mental, and spiritual, I think they were the three I was talking about, is important that you both link on all those levels, and that's what you put on your list. That's what you want to help you to grow through this, you know, and don't just go through it, grow through it, don't go. So first of all, I just want to just say as well, before we finish on our 6-pointer, can you like, share and subscribe? We're almost at the home straight. We're just on the final leg of this video. Like, share and subscribe. Don't forget about the notification bell, and you know, if you want to see more videos that come up, then don't forget to press that bell for me for anything that I release, that you get to see it. So I'm going to crack on and talk about gratitude and visualization. This is a big kicker, so hold tight, and well done for hanging with me to this point, because this is what cements the final touch to finding and bringing in your twin flame or your strong. So when things are going wrong, have gratitude that you're with the person. When things are going right, have gratitude you're with the person. When things may not be going right or going well, yeah, still visualize where you both want to be. Yeah, keep the flame alive. That's it. That is the key thing, is gratitude and visualization. Yeah, we know about love, you gotta love the person, all that lot, but predominantly having gratitude that you're lucky to have them, you know. And if you don't feel you're lucky to have them, let them go. Let them find someone that is gonna have that gratitude to have them. Same with you, to find someone that's gonna have gratitude with being with you. Because I don't understand why people, and I'm saying just give up straight away, but if you've done everything under the sun, you try to work with the person and it's just not happening, you know, and you both feel that you're sleeping on opposite sides of the bed or even in other rooms, it's time to go. You know, I know some people who have come back from that. So, and again, goes back to gratitude. You know, they were there through the worst times and the good times, you know. And I know in some instances, some people may not have been there in the bad times, or would have been there for the bad times, but they realized it wasn't giving you the support that you need. But yet you still love them because you love them and you have gratitude, you know. Despite all the challenges I may face in my past with relationships and happiness, when I say I love them, I love them. Yeah. It may be different from different people, but I love them. When I'm in with them, I love them. And when we went, it just wasn't happening. So if I said I loved them, I love them. So, and that's what you need to, is the reason, 95 or 85 or 70, 30. Mine was 110%. I foresee nobody else but you, you know, and that's what you need to be. If you don't, maybe you need to evaluate what it is that you want. And gratitude, you should put in bold letters underneath your shopping list. You know, gratitude and visualization. Visualize who you want, have gratitude who you're going to get, and have gratitude where you are right now. Because you're in that state really to manifest that person that you want to bring into your life. So, there you go. That's it. That's it. I don't know how this is going to roll out. I don't know if it's over 2 parts or whether it's going to be just a short thing or a long thing or whatever. But I do want, importantly, for you guys to get the crust of it, the importantness. It needs to be real. You know, it needs to be real. This is so important. So, with that, guys, thank you so much. God bless. And I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. God bless. Do look after yourself.